Really just a blessing from God, and couldn't be any happier just to be back here in Buffalo. I mean, it's been a special place ever since they picked me in 2021. Just the trust that he's put in me, and also just trust me with this second contract and rewarding me with this. I mean, it just means the world to me, and I'm just ready to go out there and just keep on putting it all on the line for my teammates and just try to win as many games as possible and be the best player I could be and get to that next level.
Why did you choose to sign it now as opposed to playing it out and see what you could do on the open market?
Just because my heart's been here, you know what I'm saying, since 2021, and I didn't really want to go anywhere else. So I mean, we have a lot of great guys on our team, our defense, our D-line, we're real tight. I'm just excited to get back to dudes like Ed, DQ, AJ. I mean, it's a blessing to be around guys like that, and it's not like that everywhere. So I was just ready to get back.
What were the talks like? Like, when did it start? When did it kind of speed up?
Started before the season, and then played the year, and then we started talking after the season, and then here we are. So it happened pretty quick.
You're not. I think you turn 25 next month, right? So, I mean, do you still feel like your best football is in front of you here? You're an ascending player.
Yeah, I feel like that's true. You know, I feel like with every single year, I feel like I've gotten better, and the game slowed down just a little bit. So I'm just gonna keep on trying to just get better, day in, day out, year in and year out, and see how far I can take it. But I'm excited for the future, and I know I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm excited just to try to reach that pinnacle and that mountaintop of what I can become as a player in the future.
How about the D-line as a group? Like, what do you think that group can do moving forward? I know, still waiting to see kind of who all will be here, but like, what do you think of the group going into next season?
Yeah, a lot. I feel like year after year, we've had our times where we really did what we had to do and came prepared and played really good ball. And it's all about consistency, because the one time you don't do it, then it's a problem. So I mean, just being able to go out there week in and week out, whether it's regular season or playoffs, and then compete at a high level. That's what it's all about. And just putting together the right performances at the right times, like later in the season and stuff. That's what's important.
Those lines, there is an idea out there that the defensive line, it may be in the biggest moments, particularly against the Chiefs the past couple of years. That's obviously the team that you guys have not been able to get past, has maybe not been adequate enough. Obviously, being a big part of that, how does that sit with you, and do you see any truth in that?
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well with any of us. Like, we know what we got to do. We know we got to be better. I know I got to be better. So, I'm excited to put my best foot forward out there when it matters the most, because that's what's important. And, we're trying to get to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. So, I mean, like you said, that's what's important. And there's nobody hiding from that. We're all aware of that. But at the same time, the past is the past. Just like every year, we kind of put it behind us. And, I know I got to be better. And that's just it, flat out, period.
Yourself taking more of a leadership role, as I know you're still young, but now with this extension and everything, is that something that would be important to you, of just continuing to grow in that sense?
Absolutely, yeah. 5 years in now, coming up on this next season, so definitely gonna try to step up more vocally and just I was already leading a little bit, but just lead more. You can always lead a little bit more, especially as a younger player. So I'm excited for that, and I'm gonna embrace it head on.
The league and in the locker room to see these young guys get these second contracts. A bunch of them just this week.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's really cool. Like here, you see Shakir and TB just signed. I mean, those are dudes that have been here for the past couple of years and really have helped us win games. And I feel like I'm part of that. So, I mean, it's exciting for the future. And, we're just going to keep on building.
You mentioned the player that you want to ascend to. Where do you feel like you have to take a jump?
What do you mean?
Like you said, you want to get to a certain level. Where do you feel like you need to take a jump?
I feel like football or like the NFL or kind of anything you're doing. It's kind of like even in your jobs right now. It's like a bus pass. It's like you gotta tap it to get on the bus every single time. So you got to keep on resetting. And there's not like, oh, I'm already good at this, I'm already good at that, because you could be good at this or good at that on Monday, but then on Tuesday you're not. So I mean, for me, I'm trying to get better in every way possible. I'm trying to make the people around me better. I'm trying to understand the scheme better and when I could make certain moves, and that itself can maximize my potential in certain ways and people around me. So I mean, I feel like whether it's run defense, pass rush, all of it's important. But I mean, you could grow in every single way, every single season.
What does the belief from the organization mean to you personally, knowing that they wanted you here?
A lot, you know. I feel like Bean's really Bean, Coach McDermott, the whole entire staff, Coach West. I mean, they trust me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, and I got to make sure I prove them right. You know, I owe them that, I owe myself that, I owe the franchise that, and yeah.
Do you see this contract as kind of a motivating factor in that sense then, of like continuing to prove it, or just when you say it that way, like what does that mean to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a huge motivation. You know what I'm saying? Got to prove myself right. Got to prove them right, and I'm ready for that.
Extremely thankful to the Bills organization, first off, for just giving me the opportunity to come back for another 4 years. Really looking forward to what we have planned in the years ahead. I know we kind of got our work cut out for us, definitely, and the goals that we set for ourselves each and every year. Just super excited to be back. Means a lot for myself and my family and everybody that kind of roots for me on Sunday afternoons. So appreciate that, and yeah.
You were already the longest tenured Bill coming into this. You'll obviously continue that. What does that mean just to have that continuity with this team, this organization?
It's very cool. I think that's you have personal goals, you have team goals, you got short-term, long-term goals. That obviously on the personal side is a cool kind of feather to have in your cap as the longest tenured guy that's been here since the old staff was here. So I appreciate Coach McDermott and Brandon for keeping me around and believing in me and trusting me and giving me opportunities to grow in all aspects of my game on and off the field. So I think that's that has, I guess, what led to being rewarded with another extension. So.
Reid, how much of this was about just maybe finishing your career right where you started it?
That definitely played a part. Yeah, definitely played a part. I mean, we love Buffalo. I always joke with people, I've got a snowblower. Like, I feel like, I'm up here more than I'm, anywhere else throughout the year. So, I definitely consider myself, this is home and has been for, the past 9 years. So we love it up here. It's a great place to raise a family, raise my girls. And we've got a lot of friends up here, a lot of people that love to come up here and visit, come to the games, experience Buffalo, experience the people and the fans, and the food, of course, is great up here too. So now, I mean, we love it up here, and yeah, definitely played a part.
Are either of them old enough to really recognize what's going on, or was this just like something exciting's happening?
Yeah, we have two girls. One's 4 and one, or almost 4 and almost 2, and the Blakely, my almost 4-year-old, she was really confused why Daddy had to fly up to Buffalo for like the same, like, I just got to go to work for like one day, sort of like a couple hours, and I'll be home tonight, like I promise. And she was super confused. But that was going back to the last question, they're getting to the point where I want them to be able to remember Daddy playing football, right, when they get older. And that's something that this organization has blessed me with the opportunity to do, and really looking forward to that. So they love coming to the games and watching Daddy play. They started snapping and stuff with their little footballs they got around the house. So they see what I do on Sundays and they try to mimic it. So that's the coolest thing for me. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the longest contract extension you've had?
Yeah, I think so. I think the last one was 3 years. This one's 4 years. Yep.
You go through like at the end of camp and some of that maneuvering and the cuts and things like that. What is that like for you? And then to have them continue to put their faith in you with a deal like this.
Sure. Those the cut day stuff. I know people like to joke about parking lot and whatnot. I do have a grill out in my assigned parking spot that I do smash burgers on my parking lot day. But it's if I can help the team in any way, shape, or form, then I'm willing to do it. So that's really what it comes down to. They're trying to make a couple roster changes at the end of camp, and I'm more than happy to help the team.
Chris Tabor yet or spoken with him, and what are your initial impressions of the change there?
Yeah, I have just briefly spoke with him after I signed a little bit ago, and excited to work with him. He's got a lot of great experience, and he brings a lot to the table. He's worked under and with some great coaches in the league that are still coaching, and a lot of great players as well. From a specialist standpoint, and also from a return specialist standpoint. So really looking forward to kind of diving in with him and his new assistant Turner West, and learning from them, and trying to improve where we can.
Some turnover in coaching, and then with Sam being released this week, just, what is it like you had that continuity with Sam and Tyler for so long. I know Tyler's obviously still here, but what will that look like moving forward?
Yeah, it's you hate to say it, it's part of the job, right? Being able to adapt and adjust to change, and you never know when it's going to come, but being able to whoever that the new guy is, from Tyler's perspective, he's got to be able to work with him. From my perspective, I've got to be able to work with him, short snaps, long snaps, Tyler with the holding aspect, stuff like that. So, it's an important part of the job, and whoever that guy is, whoever it ends up being on for week one, we're gonna fully trust him.
The longest tenured player, like we were talking about, so I think your perspective on this is interesting. But when you got here 9 years ago, I think the perception of the Bills organization was very different than it probably is now. For you to sign an extension with this version of the Buffalo Bills, do you realize and see the change that has happened over time when you're talking to others, when you're with your peers, and just does it feel like there's a different sense about this group now?
Definitely, yeah. I think, and you guys see it, right? I think that has a lot to do with that core group of guys that kind of first came in Shauna Bean's first couple of seasons, right? Josh, Milano, Dion, some of those guys, Taryn, the culture that those guys, in the locker room atmosphere that those guys have created, and I'll throw my hat in the ring too. I like to think that I've added a little bit of positivity to the locker room, but guys want to come here. They want to come here and play. They want to, you've seen a couple extensions the last couple days with guys that want to continue their career here and play under this coaching staff. Stick in that locker room and compete. Week in and week out. So it's definitely a different vibe. I don't know. I don't know how to really put it into words, but. It's just special being able to be around this core group of guys that's been here for the last 5 or 6 years now.
Off of that, you mentioned the extensions over these past couple of days. With how long you've been here, what's it like for you to see these group of players that came into your culture, became part of it, and now they're going to be counted on as big pieces for the foreseeable future for this team?
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it's great, to be a part of it, but you see the work that these guys have been putting in, and they're getting rewarded for it, right? You get drafted, whatever round you get drafted in, and drafted or undrafted, and you're, the team that they coach you up, they develop you, and at the end of the day, they reward you with the extension, right? So I think it's important for guys to see that. And for that to be something that the team does, right? Reward your good players, and that guys see that across the league, and it's fun to be a part of, and I'm looking forward to continuing that relationship with the guys that have signed back.
4 years is a long time. You think the next 4 years there'll be a popular fast food chicken restaurant here by the time the contract's up?
That would be the hope. I'm going to see if we can take that a step further now that there's some guarantee. I mean, surely right across the street would be quite the attractive place. Hey, I'm sure there's some free land around here somewhere to to plop one of those over by McKinley Mall maybe. Yeah, fingers crossed.